Hi there, and thanks for watching my A4 tower video, and this is just how to make it. So I've started off with a piece of A3 paper, which is twice as big as A4, just for making a bigger tower. And it's cardstock, so that thing I'm using there is called a bone folder. I folded it in half, okay, and then take another one. It takes 6 sheets actually to build this entire tower. If you're starting with with anything, it takes 6 of them. 3 of them for the first box, and then 3 of them for the rest of the boxes. Okay, so I use the flat edge to flatten it out, and then I use the thin edge to get it really a sharp fold. Okay, so I take the 2 folded pieces of A3, line them up on the small edge, and tape them together. Alright, and then I do the other side as well, so I'll flip it over, put some tape on there. You can use masking tape, it really doesn't matter. I was just using packing tape. And then you just, I've closed those down and tape there, and then you want to get them from the inside. So let's put a piece of tape underneath there like that. Okay. So now that's been done. Now I'll press it down with the bone folder so it's taped really well. And those hinges are really strong, so you actually need to fold it down that way. Yep. Okay, so now we're making the top and the bottom. So we're taking another piece of A4 paper. So this would be the third one we've used. Folded it in half to make 2 pieces of A4 cardstock. So I'm just demonstrating how that works there. Okay, so yep, just cutting this thing in half here. So you fold it back and forth a couple of times just so that hinge weakens, and then you just tear it apart, and it works pretty well. Okay, so there's 2 pieces of A4 now. That's the way the A's work. And it's the same shape, different size. So now I need to cut off a little bit of that thing in order to be able to get a square base there. So I'm just lining them up like that. And now we're going to use the bone folder tip to score it. Okay. What scoring does is it helps. You want to use the nice pre-cut edge rather than the one you tore to get a good score line. Okay, so use the tip, score it. It helps to get a good fold so that you can tear that off. Because now as soon as you try to fold it, it'll just go right along that score line. So I'm just repeating it on the other one because we're going to need a top and a bottom. So we're getting a little bit of scrap being formed by this. Those thin, tall rectangles that we're going to cut off are going to be scrap, and there's actually an interesting mathematical relationship there. When you cut a square off a piece of square root of 2 by 1 paper, it turns out that the little rectangle that you cut off is in a silver ratio, so they call it a silver rectangle. Kind of like the golden rectangle, but a little bit different. You can make spirals out of them just like the golden spiral and all of that. So I'm just explaining that this piece of scrap's in the silver ratio. So you can and then cut the other one off as well, right? So that square's done. Get the other square base made. Same process. We previously scored it. Now we're just making that fold over and over again to weaken the cardstock so that you can tear it. Okay. Now that's also in the silver ratio, but that's scrap, so I'm going to tear it up. Okay, so now we have our top and our bottom, or our sides, whatever you want to think of. Yeah, it's really the sides. Okay. So now we're going to attach either one of the 2 sides here. You just line it up and then tape it on. And you want to get it on both sides just to make you strong hinges there. So we're going to do it there. So now I'm going to do the other side. So I put that on the top of it, and now folding it down and then over. And then you can do it on the inside as well, just to strengthen it. And then you do the outside, the other two sides. Right, so that's one of them. Then you do the other one. Yeah, you can do it on the inside as well. Okay. The last side you do you won't be able to reinforce it from the inside completely, because I think for obvious reasons you can sort of, but it's not always possible. So just going to put some tape on there and then attach it on there like that. So that's our inside tape. Okay, just struggling a little bit there. Okay, and then you can just kind of flatten that thing out and do the other side. So this is the outside for that same hinge there, same edge. Okay. And then if you want, you can try to do an inside tape here. I tried to do it. Yeah, it's a little tough to do, but you can attempt it. It's really just easy. Yeah, so I guess you could do that. Yep. See, but it's a problem. It's really tough to work with when you do that. Anyway, you certainly want to do the outside of the edges. So you just get all 4 of those edges there on both sides. Okay. Then you have a box. So that's your first box. So you used 3 pieces of cardstock for that, so you have 3 left. You only need 6 total for this to work. And since this is going to be made, this is essential. So we used the first box was our A3 box. The next box is going to be our A4 box. So we actually need to have 2 pieces of, or actually 3 pieces of A4 now for this to work. So I'm just creating the 2 A4s with the single piece of A3, cutting it in half. Okay, so now we have 2 A4s, and we're going to basically repeat the process here, right? We're going to make 1/2 of the box like this. Okay. And then make another 1/2 of the box in the same exact way. So I don't show all that, there's no point. Okay, so now we have our 2 halves of our box, we just need our bases. So again, you just need 1 piece of A4 for this, but we need to cut an A3 in half. So that was our, what, fifth piece of A3, I think. And, okay. Now we're taking a piece of A4 and cutting it in half, so those would be 2 pieces of A5. Those are what we're going to use for our base, and so the process is just repetitive at this point. You know, you score it, cut off the piece of the scrap piece, which is in the silver ratio. Okay. And then there's another one, right? You don't need it. It's just scrap. So you need to repeat it. So you can just use your square piece to score the other one. And just cut it off and tear it off. Okay. And then you just put your box together, and you just keep doing that, and you'll see that you haven't, the 6 pieces of A3 was enough to do it. And if you want to just make a smaller tower, just use A4 cardstock. All right. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good one.